Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. Shalom and salutations to you brothers out here preaching the words of truth and sincerity. I'm Rapal Month. This video I'm going to explore some of these pictures with you, Akim and you, Akwa. This is from the National Museum of History. I believe that's what it's called, or Natural Museum of History. And this is in Houston, in Texas. And they got a little exhibit where it's all about gemstones and different stones. Right? Some of the names I have, some of them I don't. But I thought it was interesting to go through this because what we are steadily going, some of our focus as Hebrew Israelites is on the rewards. All right, we ain't always considering everybody else except for ourselves. We also considering the fact that the power, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, is that magnificent that he done created some things out there that you need to be on other planets to explore. Or he done create such things that's so fantastic out there that you need slaves to be able to mine it up and go in there, because you yourself ain't going to try to dig down 30,000 feet into the earth's crust just to grab a few of these up. But some of these are found in caves. Some of these are found in on cliffs. Some of these are found by the ocean, underwater. A lot of them just found deep underground. And so the beauty and the benefit of being in power is that the Lord gives you slaves. The Lord gives you servants. All right, just as we was in slavery under the other nations, they're going to be in slavery over us. When you go to just over the top is Lamentations 4:21. But let's jump on Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. So what you can't teach Christians is that God hates slavery. God hated slavery. You can't teach that. Most High, Yahweh, the Father, he put us in slavery. He said, here, take that. All right? And what we had to do as slaves was do whatever our bosses, our quote-unquote, masters told us to do. Because that's what Esau liked to be called during slavery, slave master. Well, the description in Jeremiah says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Okay. All we got to do is go back in the American history timeline. When you check out American history, and you go into native wars, the first thing that pops up is American Indian Wars. Oh, and there's plenty of pictures on this. The History Channel does a great job. And they've described the colonial period. They described King Philip's War, Queen Anne's War, French and Indian War. Oh, so you French. A lot of you French. You dodging. You trying to dodge right now. Here it is. You got a whole island of people, of Jake's Israelites, from Haiti to Martinique, I believe. And they all, I think there's another one. But I believe Haiti and Martinique are the ones that come to mind right now. These are Caribbean islands where they speak French or dialects of French, Creole. And so Frenchmen today will be like, well, we have nothing to do. Nah, man. The French and Indian War. See, the French and Indian War, as France expanded into the Ohio River from 1754 to 1763, it fought with Britain for control of North America. Both sides forged alliances with Indians to help fight their battles, known as the French and Indian War. The struggle ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1763. Interesting. See, it says to help It says forge alliances. So at one point, Gad, you were helping the oppressor big time, because guess what? That wasn't the only treaty that Gad signed. Gad signed many treaties. The only tribe that didn't sign any treaties were the Seminoles. All right, so-called Seminoles, who are Reubenites. It says in 1763, Pontiac. That's where you get the car, right? Pontiac Indians of the Ohio River became incensed upon learning King George III expected them to become British loyalists. So here it is, Edomites from Europe, the French and the Britons was over there fighting for that land. The French and the British, as well as the Spaniards, okay, who had parts of California and Nevada, New Mexico. The Battle of Fallen Timbers happened on August 20th, 1794, along Ohio's Maumee River between regional Indians, Miami Shawnee and Lenape, and the United States. The well-trained U.S. Army decisively defeated the Indians in battle, and the battle ended with the adoption of the Treaty of Greenville. More adoptions of treaties. See, every time you lost, you was forced to sign a treaty. That's called coercion. You didn't want to sign that treaty. That's why you fought in the first place. You had to. You had no choice. And that treaty forced you into certain areas. It forced you to give up lands. It says in 1759, a series of battles known as the Cherokee Wars began from the valleys of Virginia to North Carolina and southward. Imagine fighting for your land. You done had this land passed down for generations. Now you got to give it up because Esau says so. You know, all the tribes didn't necessarily know why and how, who these Edomites were, but the Most High sent these Edomites over here to America to persecute our people for hundreds of years. It says Cherokee. It says two peace treaties forced the Cherokee. And you see that language in here. Two peace treaties forced the Cherokees to give up millions of acres of land. A peace treaty shouldn't be forceful, but they were. They call it a forced treaty. In all actuality, see, Esau speak with a forked tongue. It says in the Revolutionary War, hoping to keep what they had left. All right, then there's more wars, American Indian Wars. Then you look up Trail of Tears. All right, you just go into the history of what happened to the Gadites before we got here. Wounded Knee, Battle of Little Bighorn, Sand Creek Massacre, Seminole Wars, 19th century wars. Just go into the history of who these people are. You really can decide for yourself what's going to happen to them. Jeremiah 6:30 and 16 again. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. So captivity means slavery. All right, even when you go into the interlinear for that word, we go into the interlinear for captivity. You got to do that for Jake. Well, captivity just means a mental stress on society. No, captivity means right here, exiled, captured, exiled. So it got something to do with being kicked out, which is we just read of the Seminole Indian Wars and these different Cherokee Wars. By extension, booty, which means spoil. You're taken after being taken prisoner after being robbed. Captive, prisoners. Take away that was taken, or that which was taken. A state of captivity. All right, a state of captivity. And the ones who was captive, that's why Isaiah 61, to loose the captives, to free the captives. You know, and the brokenhearted, and the meek. So, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. We just read that captivity also means booty. Booty means spoil. We become the spoil this time. We become the captives this time. The property, the owned. It says, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. This is the Lord speaking. This is the Lord giving back. This is the Lord allowing our dominion to flourish. And when you look, and when I sat there and look at these stones, man, because this ain't nothing. You know, this ain't nothing. This is light. This is light. is beautiful. What meets the eye, how the colors meets the eye in contrast, and then the vibrations that they give. All these stones give off their own little vibration. You know, the detail, the delight of the Lord. You know, showing up in colors and shapes. I mean, it's like a chaos, it's organized confusion in this one. But the way the Lord is just going to allow us to have their spoil is going to be magnificent, man. It's going to be to the level in which we actually appreciate. Once again, we don't know real vengeance. We don't know real. We don't know real justice. You know, but we're gonna understand justice very soon. I want to get real quick. This is the book of Job 20 and 15. He hath swallowed down riches. Here's some of his riches, man. Here's some of his riches. These are just gemstones cut out. Now, they have security guards all around for this exhibit because they know they're precious, right? Most of these weren't diamonds, but you know that these stones is precious. And I got the video here, if it'll play. So, you know, you can see that citrine and amethyst and howlite. And so this is the beauty of what they have swallowed down. Job 20:15 again. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up. And to vomit something up is violent. That's a violent action. So the Lord's going to allow him to vomit up those riches. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. And so we're going to see the Lord do a just work. What the Lord's going to do is declare that these people cannot have these things anymore. All right, that these people are not deserving anymore of all that they took, all the goods that they have. All right, and swallowed down riches means he took them, he ate them up, he took what wasn't his. It's part of the captivity, is to have booty, to take spoil. Jeremiah 13:17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds. So we got all type of healing. Jake is all about a healing tip. You know, you go on social media, you go on Facebooks, Instagrams, you see what people talking about. Jake talking about they want to go to therapy, they want to heal. Well, it's not because it's the cool thing to do. It's because Jake know they messed up. And Jake got an idea where it came from, being oppressed for all these damn years. It comes from being oppressed for all these damn years, and the nation's living lavishly. Look at these gems, man. And us having to fight for them even. We'll go to the war for them. And won't come back any the richer or the smarter. Alright? But these things, we got to allow them to enjoy. They're showcasing them in the museum for all of our people. And when you look at some of these, where these things come from, they're from Argentina. They're from the Philippines. They're from everywhere but Europe. That's where these stones come from. They're from the South America, Africa, everywhere but Europe. Just showing you how Esau can take what's not his and have no problem with it. Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. That's all our enemies. Whether you like it or not, people have fought against Jerusalem. They still are. The Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Not talking about 1948 and the return of the Jewish state. It ain't talking about that. That's all heresy. That's all imagination. That's called European or British Israelism. Thanks to vocab, that's actually a thing, which we knew because the Rothschilds claim to be Jacob. Named this Jacob Rothschild for a reason. But they ain't of the Israelite line. Nor is the Queen of England. These is all bastards, man. These is all imposters. Scriptures say a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. You know, everybody wants to be the chosen people. Go figure. But here it is. They have everything that was given to them, and they still want to be the chosen. Esau has gotten everything. He's got to smite the people of the Lord. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. So you're fighting us, you're fighting us, you're fighting us, and here's your judgment for it. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Now, thermonuclear missiles, ICBMs, was created out of World War II in the space race or the arms race. First came the atomic or the hydrogen bomb, one or the other. I forget which one. Then came the nuclear bomb. All right, and it was all from the German scientists who were captured, who were booty, spoils of World War II. All right, Nazi scientists came over here and created the instrument which would later be ICBM technology, hypersonic technology, to create some of these nuclear, propel some of these nuclear missiles into the air, that they could be launched over here and cause our adversaries to be, their flesh to be consumed all off their feet while they stand. You seen the Sarah Connor dream in Terminator 2 Judgment Day? They know just as much as we know. We just not in denial as the rest of the people are. They want the people to stay asleep or fall back asleep. And through the Spirit of the Lord, we ain't fall back asleep. All right? But all of these riches is what's going to come with the beauty of the kingdom. So we can laugh now. I mean, we can, sort of be in relief now. We have our help now. And very soon we're going to have our actual help. We're going to have the Lord step in for us. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. So there's going to be a lot of payback and vengeance taking place. You got all type of nations that's going to be flying on they're going to be falling on Edomites. Right? Some of the Ammonites, some of them Japhites, and all the heathen nations, they're going to want their peace. Mainly, this is discussing how our enemies is going to get jacked up. Number one top enemy we got is Edomites. Used to be the Canaanites, but now it's our brother Esau, our wicked brother, who has raped and robbed and pillaged our people. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem. Here we go. And the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. So we ain't bugging by saying that we're going to have these things. I was rejoicing taking pictures of these things, man. I wanted to go all in the definition. I could tell some people just like, ooh, they ain't have it in their mind. Like, I'm going to rock these one day. I had it in my mind as I was taking these pictures, because the Lord tell you straight up what's going to happen. That we going to inherit these things. Zechariah 10:4 says, out of him came forth the corner, out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, and out of him every oppressor together. And they shall be as mighty men, which tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in the battle. And they shall fight, because the Lord is with them, as the riders on horses shall be confounded. And the riders on horses shall be confounded. The Lord's going to be with us, man, to get back our glory. He's with Israel being glorified, man. He's with Israel being studied out. The Most High wants that for us. He's going to get that for us. Zechariah 12:5, and the governors of Judah shall say in their hearts, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and the Lord of hosts their power. And that day will I make the governors of Judah like a hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheaf. And they shall devour all the people round about. And the right hand on the left, and Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. Why? Because Jerusalem is a people. It shall be inhabited. The people shall be inhabited even in Jerusalem, the place. Again. And shall be in the meanwhile shall be a fire among the wood, and a torch among the sheaf, to devour all the people round about. We're gonna be kicking ass and taking names, for lack of better words. That's gonna be our lot. That's gonna be our inheritance. Asking me, and you shall give I shall give you the heathen for thine inheritance, along with the spoils. Once you get the heathen, you got the spoils. Look at these things. You know. But Lord willing, this video is edifying. I'll leave it here till next time. Shalom.